everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new into the field of UX research, if you have joined a team, or as a UX researcher, if you are asked or plan to conduct a new research, then the first thing that you will be asked is to create a research proposal. If we are new, then we often get confused as to what do we actually need to include in it. In my last video, I talked about what is a UX research proposal. I gave a brief overview of what it is about. In this video, we will be doing a practical exercise with the help of one example where I will help you actually create a research proposal from scratch. I highly encourage you to go back and watch the first video because it will help you to get a context of what a research proposal is. So let's start. Let me first explain to you very briefly what is a UX research proposal. A research proposal is simply a structured and formal document of your proposed research. It includes key three things. It includes research objective. What do you plan to research? What is it that you want to achieve through this research? Background. It will include the justification behind conducting the research. And approach. How will you conduct the research? Like what will be the budget? What will be the timeline? What are the research methods that you are including? So whether you are doing a first time study, whether you are doing a follow-up study, whether you are doing a concept testing, A/B testing, you need to create a research proposal and share it with your key stakeholders to get their feedback. So now let's understand how to create a research proposal with the help of an example. Let's suppose that you have joined a new team who is struggling to find new users, or they are struggling with keeping up with the user engagement for a new social networking app that they have created. The team is aware of initial issues, but they want to help understand deeply as to what are the usability issues in the application do in order to ultimately increase the user engagement of the app. So, the first thing that you need to do is to ask clarifying questions by holding a stakeholder session. So, you need to hold initial meeting with the stakeholder in order to understand that what is it that they are even trying to find. Ask them clarifying questions. Is there any previous study conducted? Have they yet seen any pattern or reported issues? Also ask them, are we uncovering the in-depth issues faced by maximum people that has the maximum impact, or we're just trying to find out a specific problem that users have in the app. All of this will help you narrow down on the path you want to follow, what kind of research questions you will be asking, what kind of research methods you will be including, and how many participants that you will be ultimately including. Now let's go ahead and start designing the research proposal. So the first thing that you need to do is to create or add a research topic. Let's suppose that it's more like because you're trying to understand the usability issues, you just name it as ABC, which is the name of the app, and usability study, ABC usability study. Now you also have to mention the key team members. Perhaps you are working with a team lead, or you are a team lead. You might be working with a fellow UXR. Include any designer who's working along with you, any engineering team member who's working along with you, who is the product manager who's working along with you. Next, include the research goal or the objectives, because we are trying to understand the usability issues in order to identify the area of improvement. So our research goal objective can be something like this. We aim to understand key frustrations and usability issues faced by our app users, and how critically does it impact them. Identify area of improvements and prioritize them basis different categories. This is just an example. Next, you have to include the background. Now, background gives you the justification behind carrying out this research. So in the background, you can include if there is any previous study that was conducted. If you are conducting this study for the first time, then why, what in fact even led you to conduct this study? Is there any pattern or data that you received from the analytics team, or who asked you to conduct the study? So including all these things is important. So now let's create a background of the study. Let's say that it's something on the lines like analytics team reported this % decrease in user engagement in past X months and years. And XYZ study was conducted in this month and year where insights were uncovered that application is ... include what was uncovered. User expects to carry out XXX tasks in more efficient manner. It was also uncovered that include any more relevant insights and ultimately include what is it that you're trying to achieve. That is, the project is focused on exploring these issues and addressing similar but different needs to ultimately help us increase user engagement with the app. Next, include all the high-level research questions. You don't really need to get deeper down into what are the questions that you're including. That will come in the discussion guide. So just include high-level questions. Perhaps you just want to understand what user thinks about the login page and identify other page to or ways to log in. What are the different use cases of the application? How user perform a particular task and then identify key issues, and so on. And then you will include your research methodology. Let's suppose that you are planning to conduct qualitative research, so mention how long that interview would be. You may mention the breakdown of the interview like 5-minute warm-up, 25-minute walkthrough of the app identifying usability issues, 25-minute on usability tasks, and then 5-minute wrap-up. It's not necessary to include, but including them it is fine as well. Include number of participants. Now, number of participants are also dependent on the research questions you are asking. Sometimes you are able to find out high-level issues within just 5 to 6 interviews. Sometimes you might have to extend, so it all depends. So also include the time, whether you are completing it in 5 days, 10 days, include that. Include the ultimate and estimated budget and deliverables. Whether you are doing a presentation, whether you will be partnering up with the designer to share the revised mock-up. So including the deliverables is also important. Creating the research proposal and sharing it with all the key stakeholders is very important to get their buy-in, so that after conducting the research, they should not come up to you and say that, oh, actually we were trying to get this out of the research, or what we wanted you to conduct your research with 15 participants and not just 10 participants. Or an engineer might just come up later on and say that, yeah, the kind of research that was conducted and the findings that we found were fine, but what we actually wanted to find is this. So including the perspective of all the key stakeholders by sharing it with them and asking them to share their feedback on the research proposal is very important. So guys, in this video, we did a practical exercise and created a research proposal. If you found this video informative, please make sure that you like the channel and subscribe to the video. And I will see you next time.